Welcome back, everyone. Well, today I would like to talk about an issue that plagues many businesses. It is data silos. We all know that most businesses already have a plethora of legacy and on premise systems that are packed with crucial data. Yet, brands keep adding new apps, data, and devices to their toolkit without a clear picture. It seems like everyone is trying to enhance everything their business already does. But is it really worth it? The problem arises when each department in an organization acts independently without considering the larger picture. This can lead to data silos, which are absolutely a menace for any business. And trust me, pursuing initiatives in a siloed organization can never yield the desired results. It is therefore, I believe it is imperative that we break down these silos and establish cross functional collaboration within our organizations. And certainly, that is why, as a marketer, it is your responsibility to ensure that you use tools that can seamlessly integrate with other departments to ensure that you're on the right track and driving maximum ROI. There's only one way I can think of right now, and that is integrating your marketing automation platform with various apps and third party tools. Well, that is going to be your trump card to success. And to talk all about this, we have another amazing panel of marketing and thought leaders. Please allow me to call on the stage the moderator for this panel discussion, Balkar Singh Rao, Senior Manager, Marketing Automation at Grizity. Balkar is a highly accomplished operations leader adept at delivering cutting edge technical services and solutions. Currently, he is spearheading the marketing automation team with his leadership skills and passion to drive business goals. His impeccable knowledge and expertise in business processes, consulting, product development. You talk about customer relationship management, or for that matter, employee engagement. All of this make him an indispensable asset to the organization. So here's Bilkar with our next panel discussion on the topic, what does a fully integrated marketing automation ecosystem look like? Over to you, Bilkar.
Thanks, Ria, for the introduction and setting up the context. Hey everyone, this is Bulkar. A quick intro of myself. As Ria mentioned, I have been practicing Marketo for about 10 years now at Grazity. I am also an Adobe Marketo user group leader for Chandigarh and an Adobe community advisor this year. I'm 5x certified in Adobe Marketo Engage. We're going to talk about interesting perspectives on what drives business impact from market operations. And today I have the privilege to moderate this really interesting conversation with some of our great friends. The panel has really interesting takes on how a well integrated marketing automation ecosystem looks like. We're going to have a round of introductions. I would like to call upon the stage our panelists, and I would request everyone to introduce yourselves. So, can we have Rahul to introduce him? We have Rahul joining us all the way from Sydney. Hey, Rahul.
All the way it is. Thank you, Bulgar, and it's a pleasure to meet you and the rest of the Grazity team. And it's such an amazing conference. My name is Rahul. I am a marketer. I work at Prospecta Software and head up global marketing and partnerships. And there's one fun fact, if you don't know about Australia, is not only it's 4 a.m. in Australia, but we have opposite seasons. So if you have winters, we have summers, and if you have summers, we have winters. So we go opposite to the direction. That's why, not geographically, but we are called down under for a reason.
Wow.
And pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Rahul. Thanks, Rahul. Then we also have Anna. Can we have a quick introduction from Anna, please?
Hi everyone, I'm Anna. I'm based in Seattle, Washington. I have 7 years of experience in marketing operations, covering a lot of different industries and sizes of companies from startups to consulting and then enterprise, recently being with Amazon Business. In my free time, I'm also a HubSpot consultant for a woman owned and operated HubSpot agency. And so getting to learn from some of the best HubSpotters out there. My fun fact, being here in Seattle, it's actually sunny here, which is great today. Usually it's really cloudy, so that's my weather update.
Great, great. Thanks, Anna. Thanks, Anna. Then we also have Karen Fowler on the dais. Can we invite Karen to have a quick introduction from her? Hey, Karen. Um, hey, Karen, you're on mute.
Hashtag awkward. That's how it is. Hey everyone, I'm Karen Feller. I am located here in Austin, Texas, number one city, USA. I am I see Anna shaking her head over there. I am a revenue technology professional. I've been doing this about 10 years. I'm the Austin Marketo user group leader and love mentoring and talking on everything MOPS and revenue technology related. Let's see here. Fun fact, I worked at a cat cafe where I learned to run a vegan food truck, and I became a cat care specialist, pretty much a cat concierge. So if anyone loves cats, talk to me. But yeah, that's my fun fact.
Great. Thanks for the intro, Karen. And then the last one we have on the stage is Kaneko. Can we have a quick introduction from Kaneko, please?
Hi everyone, my name is Kanako and I'm calling in from Boston today, which is the number one city in the US. Other people disagree, that's fine. I've been in the revenue operations domain and doing consulting work as well as full-time work here and there, and I'm coming from the marketing operations background. I love working not only the marketing but all kinds of teams in the GTM, like bottom people functions like sales, customer success, etc. These people are amazing and the fun to work with. Fun fact about me, um, besides I'm also being a cat lover, but I haven't run the cat cafe. I'm originally from Japan, and at some point I was teaching Japanese online, and I just realized I might have been teaching longer than doing marketing ops. But still, I love it.
Great, great. Well, thanks, Kaneko, for the introduction. Before we jump right into the question, I have a surprise. Can we get a bit of answer on the following question? If money was not an object, how would you spend your time? Can you take a couple of seconds and let's start with Anna?
Oh, sure. I guess living in the Pacific Northwest, I have to say doing stuff in the mountains. So I'm very much into skiing and hiking, a lot of camping. That's how I'm spending most of my summer this year. So
Okay, cool. Karen, what about you?
Yeah, Anna, I expect an invitation to your summer cabin in Seattle pretty soon. But, anyways, let's see here. I would be spending my time laughing and reading memes because I feel like, you know, recently I've been uh, learning more reading memes than textbooks. I know that sounds weird, but I'm sure a lot of the audience resonates with that. And then I would be doing anything that makes me forget I have a phone, which means I'm at the spa and getting a daily massage. And I know that's a goal, but it really is going to happen. And also hanging out with my cats. So, yeah,
Oh,
that's what I'd be doing.
interesting. Thanks, Karen. Rahul, what would you do with your time if money was not an object?
So Balkar, by nature, I always have very strict regime. But if money was an issue, early in the morning, I'll go to the best cafe in Australia. Australia has got best coffees ever in the world. So I'll go to the cafe. Instead of gulping my coffee like every day, I will sip my coffee, enjoy my coffee for an hour or so, and then I'll go for my workout, come back, spend some time with my wife, and then meet up with my friends and whinge about politics and everything that I can, and
Wow,
then you know uh, come back again, watch some movies, and
great.
just relax as much as I can, enjoy my
Wow,
life.
wow, interesting. Thanks, Rahul, and a quick insight from you, Kaneko, on that.
Yeah, I always dreamed to run my own cat cafe. And guess who I met in this session already? Karen, who knows how to run it. So I'm going to leverage this network to make my dream happen, actually.
Great, great. Thanks, guys, for all the introductions. Let's dive right into the session.
Wait, Balkar, you haven't answered what your answer would be.
Oh, you want to ask me? Okay.
Yeah.
Um, I would watch a lot of movies. Yeah, kind of overlaps with Rahul. Uh, okay, okay. So yeah, let me jump right into the session, guys. My first question is that what does a fully integrated marketing automation system means to you? Karen, would you take that question?
Yeah, I would love to. So, hi everyone. Love the buzzword and very relevant for today. So, integrated marketing system is the future, and I would say it's actually a requirement. So, future CEOs and C-level people, in order to accomplish your marketing efforts, it's critical that you have that integrated system set up and have that foundation and strategy in line to accomplish what you want to do. And so we're all talking before the session, and again, we're all friends. I feel like marketing ops people, we bond really quickly. I've known Balkar 5 years, but we all, really resonate with each other. So this analogy I'm going to give is relating to the human body. So I consider, the computer, the human body like a supercomputer. So we are the soft tissue technology, and so it's critical that we have certain organs function. And again, I wish I literally get goosebumps thinking about this because how it resonates with this message. But for example, the heart brain resonance, whenever you get that aligned, you're able to manifest um, your full human potential. And so I think about that with the same with technology. So we're able to get neurons to fire in your brain. It's the same with technology. You're able to, when you're able to streamline data back and forth and have systems in place, you're able to accomplish what you want and streamline that communication back and forth. And so recently, actually, I've been really interested in holistic health. And so it literally blew my mind when my friend started actually his own business, and he was describing holistic health like in engineering terms. And I'm like, wow, this reminds me of Marketo, and, the engineering part of that and how each system plays a part. And so just like your body, you need to make sure that organs are functioning. You have that self care. And then also, if you want to hit your potential, you want to make sure that you have everything aligned um,
Yeah.
to hit that goal. And so, Anna, would love to hear more about that from your perspective.
Yeah, I guess for me, I view it just the whole end-to-end life cycle, right? So as you have prospects interacting with your demand gen content and coming to however you're collecting their data, it integrates into your marketing automation system where it is now like the heart of the data-driven decisions. Where are you going to go with them? How are they interacting with your content? Ensuring that there's no bottlenecks, that as you're sending them down this pipeline and having that handoff to sales, you're confident that they're ready to talk to these sales teams. And then just looking again at like how they're going through the opportunity stages, and then focusing on customer retention, upselling, just having all the systems talking to each other so that it is a very lean customer lifecycle. We want to make sure that it's a very good experience for whoever's interacting with your company.
Yeah, and with the life cycle, I think that's a great point. But once we have all these things in place, uh, I mean, how do we make sure that we are evaluating the software part of the puzzle correctly? Um, I think Kaneko, would you like to highlight on that? Like, how would you recommend evaluating new software?
Yeah, sure. That's a big question. We can probably have one solo session about this topic. But before talking about actual how piece or like framework of evaluation, let's step back and think about it. Why do we need this tool? Like, why are we interested in this? And the reason I cast this like big question is, um, I believe that getting a new tool is like getting a new puppy. Yeah, it's funny that I bring up about puppy, though I'm a cat lover. But anyway, my marketing ops friend told me this analogy, and it just really resonated with me. That getting a new puppy sounds really fun stuff, happy life ahead of you. But the reality is, you have to take the puppy to the vet, you have to feed him, you have to make sure that he's healthy and happy, you also have to pick up his poop too. All that kind of thing happens. That's like a management piece of having puppy in life. The having additional piece of tech in the ecosystem is like that. And also this is important notion that, especially like maybe because I've been in the startup scene quite a lot, that like I sometimes encounter like a C-suite who brings up like new piece of tech saying like, hey, my friend so and so is giving me this tool for free. It's free, let's do this. But the reality is, sure, you can get the puppy free, but does it mean the keeping the puppy, nurturing the puppy, is it also free? No. So there are actually like long-term impacts of having a new thing on your plate, and it's really important to evaluate not only the functionality or like monetary investment into the tool, but also what kind of resources are required to manage this new piece of tech properly in the long run. Yeah.
Uh,
And also, it's important to mention that the implementation piece or onboarding the puppy properly to the new life is really key factor. And I love to get my fellows thought around successful implementation. Who
Great,
wants to
great.
take it? Maybe
Yeah,
Anna.
no. Yeah, Anna, what is your thought on the successful implementations? I think the puppy analogy is a great one. But yeah, let's talk about how can we ensure a successful implementation? What do we need to do to reach there?
Yeah, so love that puppy analogy. I think then taking that next approach is just evaluating what exactly does your project plan look like and aligning with your stakeholders. Like Hanukkah said, you have to really evaluate how you're going to get it to the next level. And there's a lot of work that needs to be done, and it impacts a lot of stakeholders. So having that alignment, having that work back schedule of how you're going to get to that goal and nurture it, it's key. I really like to use Asana as a tool tracking of all the tasks I need to do and check it off so that it has the clear expectations of who's doing what and implementing this software. Another thing I like preach it to everyone that will listen is data architecture and just making sure, is your data accurate? Do you know where you're coming from? Is it clean? What's your source of truth? I think all of my friends know that I talk about this way too much, but without having clean data and knowing how it's structured, you're having a new system is kind of useless. You can't create processes. You're now plugging dirty data into your new system, sort of cleaning it up. It's not great, and you might not be able to get reporting off of any of the efforts you're trying to do. I'd also say starting very simple with your strategy and implementation. We're all excited about a new software. It's a cool new toy that we're going to launch in our marketing platform. But starting with the basics and ensuring that you get that part right before you scale is absolutely key. You don't want to overcomplicate this because you want to make sure that you're growing for the future. And so something I like to tell my clients is, let's take a step back. Let's test what we already know before coming up with an elaborate strategy that might not actually work. So now you've wasted a lot of time putting together the strategy and trying to launch it, and we're not sure, and you might have to go back to the drawing board. That's just not fun. And then I'd say documentation. I know Karen and I have talked about it for like the last couple of weeks about how passionate we are about documentation. And Karen, I see you smiling. So if you'd like to take that, love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, would love to, Anna. And I know some of you are rolling your eyes at documentation, but just my experience the past 10 years, it's so critical to just document the fundamentals of how a tool is implemented and the strategy of why we implemented something a certain way. And if you don't have the energy or time, I've found that, like, hey, let's get the vendor of the tool that help implement this, like, help us document that. But I would say that's critical just to have as a foundation. Um, and I know there's been some controversy in the marketing ops arena that by the time I'm done documenting something, it's already changed. Well, that's why I love having a tool like Confluence, which is kind of like a website for the marketing team. It pretty much documents all the processes and um, a data dictionary and everything about it. So I love having documentation. I would say that's so critical because at the end of the day, I mean, I even had a customer ask me, like, hey, like, we need to have our business documented. It's so critical in order to know where we're starting from. And also to, like Anna mentioned, it's not just a toy, it's a serious business tools that we have integrated. And so we need to know how that data is passing back and forth. And so it's critical we have that. And yeah, I found that a lot of vendors of the tool that we help leverage can help you with that. But I would say that's super critical. And yeah, I just want to give a shout out to Kaneko on her puppy analogy. Is seriously the best ever. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
It's,
Karen. I think that is great. I do have a quote here in my team that documentation is the only thing which can time travel. But I would also like to ask Rahul here, who is on the demand gen side of thing. How do we ensure the business impact of implementation? I mean, what is it should roll up to, or what is it should ultimately achieve as an outcome? What is the business impact side of things when we're talking integrations?
Yeah, thank you, Bulgar, and great thoughts by everyone. I'm so enlightened right now by your conversation. See, from a business impact, anything that you do in ops and governance will have a business impact. Now, whether that business impact be positive or negative depends on how you have implemented that governance. So I always say marketing ops is the governance part of marketing. It's the brain part of the marketing. If you take that out, it's just we creative folks, writing poetry and creating designs, right? So marketing is the brains, the technical part of it. So it's very important, and it always have a good impact. So I'll give you an example. From when we look at the revenue side of the business and look at the demand gen side and the pipeline side of the business, uh, good implementation is very critical, because if there is a bad implementation or incorrect implementation, what it does, one of the reasons is that it can lead to wrong attribution, right? It can lead to wrong attribution to campaigns, and then you won't be able to allocate uh, time, resources, and budget to the right campaigns, and that will have a trickle down effect on your marketing budget, and that will have a trickle down effect not only your budget, your marketing reputation inside the company. So good implementation is very important. The second thing I would touch on is when business comes in and says we need to scale our revenue 2 times, 3 times, 4 times. um, it doesn't happen in one way, right? Whenever business says, we scale the business with guerrilla marketing tactics. There's no such thing as guerrilla marketing tactics. It's all planned. It doesn't happen by serendipity, right? It's all planned, right? And if you plan your marketing ops properly, you will have a well documented plan to scale your business. And then business will have confidence in you that, if we have implemented this from A to Z, all documented, as Anna and Karen were saying, importance of documentation, you will have the revenue that you can show to to your board. Very important from my point of view.
Great, great. Yeah, great insights, Rahul. We are, approaching towards time. So I would next like to ask Anna about why is it so important to have operational governance and documentation as a central place or a foundation. Love to hear your thoughts, Anna, on that, since you have been at Amazon Business and you have managed a huge database. What are your thoughts on that?
And
Yeah,
also, have you met Jeff Bezos yet? And the bananas.
the bananas. I haven't met Jeff Bezos, but I've definitely eaten my fair share of bananas at our banana carts there here in Seattle. So very nice. But why it is so important is having seen Pardot get stretched to its absolute limit at Amazon Business, I have seen how much of a strain this has impacted an environment. So as you're adding more leads or prospects to your environment, more APIs, more integrations, just more processing, it's slowing down the environment, just causing a lot of processing power to happen in the background. So you want to make sure that as you're scaling, you're building everything efficiently. You're thinking of how can you build this a smart way so that you're reducing any type of like straint on the back end. For cleanliness, for example, one of my big jobs was just deleting expired lists, old lists that were just processing in the back end, making sure that our environment is also using the correct naming convention. Because if you have a lot of things in the back end or just have a lot of things currently running, you might not be able to find what you're looking for, or data is outdated. And so now let's get rid of it. To the documentation part, I cannot speak highly enough about like how much data documentation or documentation is necessary. Having a good data dictionary so that you can build lists correctly is absolutely essential. There's a lot of fields in there. So who are we targeting? Where is that source of truth coming from? How are we running this list? Even just training new marketers, there's a lot of industry knowledge that you want to make sure that people can self-service and are building things correctly. So referencing back to that documentation not only saves your own time, but then it saves your marketers' time.
Great, great. Thanks, Anna. I think that is a. I know we are barely scratching the surface. We can really talk for hours on this topic, but we do have a couple of questions in chat. Let's take one of them, and then we can conclude. The question is that how to ensure that the marketing automation ecosystem is scalable and adaptable to changing business needs.
I want to go back to you really want to start simple with some of your programs. Thinking about what is your big picture goals that you're trying to achieve, and then thinking back like what different phases do you need to get there to hit that goal. Of course, goals are going to change often, but having a system set up that is not just focused on okay, this is my goal right here, being very like siloed to that thought process, and really thinking big picture could achieve that.
Great. We have another one as well. It's more around managing and optimizing a fully integrated marketing automation ecosystem. Does it also align with the same thing? So, few best practices. I know we talked about documentation, operational excellence, and whatnot. So, I think that's where the same answer fits in, right? When we're talking about best practices on managing and optimizing a fully integrated marketing automation ecosystem.
Yeah, and bulk card, just to add, it's super critical to get leadership on board and just the key players in the company on board on alignment and ownership. So, what is the strategy? Why do we have this goal? Why do we have this puppy? If we're going to bring the puppy back into it, how do we best support this puppy and optimize this puppy to have the best life ever, and make the most of its time. And so, Kiniko, I want to have you end with it, to add on to that.
Sure. No, I think these are great conversation. So I have a couple of more questions in the Q&A. We'll get back. We are just about at time, but I just want to thank all the panelists here for having this really interesting and engaging conversation with the diverse perspective. With that, I give it back to Ria. Thanks, everyone.
Wow, that was really amazing, really amazing. And the business impact of an integrated marketing ecosystem cannot be underestimated, especially after this amazing discussion. So, when it comes to integrating your marketing automation ecosystem, it's only you who can make the right decision for your business. So, thank you so much, Rahul, Karen, Kaneko, Anna, and Rikar for giving us the right tips and tricks to get that right. You guys were truly wonderful. All right, folks, let's hit pause for a minute and take a quick break to soak up all the amazing insights we have got so far. You can use this break to grab a healthy snack, do a quick stretch, or just take a moment to appreciate the beautiful day outside if you're lucky enough to have one. And don't forget to check out some very interesting networking going around in the lounge area and stand a chance to win an Amazon voucher. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep the marketing conversation going in just 15 minutes. And I'll see you in our next fireside chat on the subject scaling and optimizing campaign testing with the power of AI analytics. See you around.